This is one of those asset classes that I never thought I would ever end up doing. Shepherd Premier was founded when I was attending a church event and the church pastor was just talking to me. It goes back even farther. Father of mine was flying an OH-58 chopper and he was killed in '84. And when I didn't have a father growing up, it was his father that got really close to me, that gave me the best father figure that I had during the time that I had in life. And when he got older, he had his first stroke when he was 79 and he had his second one when he was 80. And when I saw firsthand what it was like for a family member to get terrible care, it really opened up the eyes of how terrible this asset class is. And when he needed help, we pulled a pull cord button back behind his head and just waited 5-10 minutes. By 15 minutes, his face was changing colors. By 20 minutes, his face was totally a different color. And I didn't know what to do. I went to go get help, and I did it in a fashion that wasn't very polite. I went to go get help and I was very angry. And when I drove home that day, I felt really bad, and I was positive that I would never end up in this asset class. I never wanted to go back in those giant places again because of what I saw with a family member. Fate would have it differently, that when I went down to Florida about 5 years later, I was only 33 at the time. I was visiting our father-in-law, and he plays the piano at the old folks home 328 times per year for $35. And when I realized, when I went to these buildings in Florida, they don't build them out, they build them up. And it's 10, 15 floors of seniors, and the odor was terrible. The atmosphere took me back 5 years prior. Something that I pushed down pretty deep, that I was acting as if didn't ever happen, would come back up every single time. And then it got to a point that when we were down in Florida, I would try to avoid going to these shows because that feeling that I didn't tackle 5 years prior would kind of come back up, right? Looking forward, it was that example, it was that experience that I needed in my life to understand how bad this industry is, right? In 2014, this was July, when I was begging and pleading to get out of going to these shows, we pulled up to a 5-bed home in Winter Park, Florida. And I recall walking in, the difference of the caregiver playing cards with 5 people at the front table. The overall odor was different. The atmosphere was different. And at this time, I was investing for 4 years full time, and I didn't know what I was looking at. I felt dumb. I didn't even know that these home concepts were out there. I kind of crossed the arms, and I was just looking around at the fire heads, and I was trying to figure out what this place was. And then the person that was in charge, I asked her, I said, what do they pay each month? Like $1,500, $2,000 each month? Sarah thought it was funny, and she furrowed her eyebrows and just went, huh, and kept on walking. So I called her the next day, and she goes, Brandon, I thought you were kidding. They begin at $5,200 per month. I've never seen a 5-bedroom home generating over $25,000 of income every month. And what I realized is, yes, it is critical to earn money, but also doing it in a fashion that provides value and purpose is really what got me interested. And when I came back home to Illinois, I thought that they would be everywhere, right? Because in Florida, there's 1,800 of these things. In California, there's 2,800, right? Phoenix, Arizona, there's 3,000. Texas, there's 50,000. So Illinois, there's only 55. And that was a huge opportunity that I jumped in. It felt like God really put me in that place to go through all of those things personally, to get exposed to what the asset class was going to be in the future. And he knew that I was a person to jump in and figure out how to go do it, right? So that's really how I got into it. I never in 1,000 years thought I would ever be doing what I'm doing today. But when you combine the purpose and the heart with the opportunity, we can do it properly and offer 4 times the care in a cozy home and be profitable as is without having to put profit first. Where can you invest where you put people first? That's what this type of opportunity is, giving people the care that they ought to have first, combined with the investor to have the upside opportunity financially where they can earn dollars and be part of the future of senior living.